Students, hope you are doing well. Myself, Noshi Khan, will be teaching general science to you all. Today, we shall begin with the first chapter, that is living world and classification of microbes. In that chapter, we shall study following important points: biodiversity and need of classification, kingdom, or you can say five kingdom system, characteristics of kingdom, Monera, Protista, and fungi, classification of microbes and its characteristics. Before starting with the chapter, let's recall a few questions. First question: what is the hierarchy for classification of living organism? Hierarchy for classification of living organisms is the arrangement of taxonomic groups in descending order depending upon the taxonomic rank. Now, what is taxonomic groups? Taxonomy consult with the classification of organism. Let's see the next question. Now, next question is, who invented binomial system of nomenclature? The binomial system of nomenclature was invented by Carl Linnaeus. Now, let's see the third question. Which level of hierarchy are considered while writing the name in the binomial nomenclature? While writing the names in binomial nomenclature, the following levels of hierarchy were considered, that is kingdom, division, class, order, family, genus, species. Now, let's begin with our first topic, that is biodiversity and need of classification. First thing is, what is biodiversity? Biodiversity refers to all the variety of life that can be found on earth. Last year, we have learned that all the living organisms on earth have adapted according to geographical regions, food, ingestions, defense, etc. Now, what is food, ingestion, and defense? Food ingestion. Now, the meaning of food ingestion means taking in food. Defense means fight against enemy. While adapting, many differences are observed in the organisms of same species too. According to 2011 census, around 87 million species of living organisms are found on the earth, including land and sea. To study such a vast number, it was essential to divide them into groups. So, groups and subgroups were created considering the similarities and differences among the living organisms. So, what is biological classification is? This is the process of dividing living organisms into groups and subgroups is called biological classification. Here you all can see the person image or the picture of a person He is Mr. Robert Harding Whittaker, 1920 to 1980, was an American ecologist. In 1969, he divided living organisms into 5 groups. For this classification, Robert Harding Whittaker considered following criteria. First is complexity of cell structure. In that, we have prokaryotic and eukaryotic. Now, what is prokaryotic? Prokaryotic means they do not have a well-defined or any well-defined nucleus or any other organelles, whereas eukaryotic have a nucleus. Next we have complexity of organisms, unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular has a single cell and multicellular they have many cells, or you can say a multiple cells. Next we have mode of nutrition. Mode of nutrition, we have plants. Plants are autotrophic and photosynthetic. Now, what is the meaning of autotrophic? Autotrophic means organisms that prepare their own food. You all know plants produce or prepare their own food. That is why plants are autotrophic. Next, fungi. Fungi, saprophytic. Saprophytic means absorption from dead organisms, which means organisms that obtain food from dead organisms. Just let's take a live example of fungi. If we keep a moist bread aside for many days, we will see that the surface of the bread changes, which means fungi is now present there. Next we have animal. Animals are heterotrophic and ingestive. Now, what is heterotrophic? Organisms that obtain their food from other living organisms are called heterotrophic. Now you all know animals doesn't make their own food. They take their food from others, or they take their food from other living organisms. Next, third one is lifestyle. In that we have plants, animals and fungi. Fungi. Plants are producers. As you all know, plants prepare their own foods. That is why they are called producers. Next, animals. Animals are consumers because animals doesn't make their own food. They depend on others for their food. That is why they are called consumers. You can say animals as well as a human being, both are depend on others for their food. Next we have fungi. They are decomposers. Now, what is decomposer? Meaning they depend on dead organic matter for their food. They decompose it, that is why they are known as decomposers. Decomposers play an important role in the ecosystem by digesting dead matter. They put nutrients back into the soil, making them available to producers or to produce. Next, we have phylogenetic relationship. This means it's stating relationship between organisms or a group of organisms. Under this, we have prokaryotic to eukaryotic, unicellular to multicellular. So, these are the 5 criteria which are undertaken by Robert Harling Whittaker. I repeat it again. The 5 criteria are: first one is complexity of cell structure, second one is complexity of organisms, third, mode of nutrition, fourth, lifestyle, fifth is phylogenetic relationship. Now you can see this chart. The same chart is there in the textbook, which is very important to understand. Now this shows the division of living organisms, or you can say the classification of living organisms. Living organisms classifies into 2, that is prokaryotes and eukaryotes. I've already explained what is prokaryotes and eukaryotes. Prokaryotes means they do not have well-defined nucleus, whereas eukaryotes have well-defined nucleus. Prokaryotes include unicellular, which are included in kingdom Monera. Eukaryotes included unicellular and multicellular. Unicellular included kingdom Protista. Multicellular includes kingdom Fungi. Cell wall present in fungi, cell wall present, but organisms cannot perform photosynthesis. Multicellular include Plantae as well, in which cell wall present and organisms can perform photosynthesis. Multicellular include Animalia as well, in which they don't have any cell wall. So, this is very easy to understand with the help of this chart. Hope you will have understood whatever I have tried to explain today. In the next video, we shall be discussing more about the 5 kingdom system in detail. Thank you.